Howdy folks, welcome back to the channel. Today we will be doing another episode of World in Flames Collector's Edition, Days of Decision 3 Combined Game Playthrough. This is going to be the November-December turn of 1942. Last turn there was quite a bit of naval action going on in the Atlantic, and I guess the Bay of Biscay can be renamed the new Iron Bottom Sound, because there are a lot of ships that went down. And most of them were on the wrong side of the ledger as far as the Democrats were concerned. Okay, so let's get right into it. Let's take a look at starting money. Starting money for this turn is, if I can get it all on the screen, there we go. We have Germany at 0, Japan at 2. Italy at 1, the Soviets at 0, the Commonwealth at -4, the US at 0, China at 0, the Free French at -7, and Vichy France is currently at 6. So, I've taken a look at what the major powers might want to do, and I've put in bids for them, so let's go take a look and see what the bids came in as. Okay, we have two major powers getting bonus bid points from last turn because they didn't get the political options for that turn. And that being said, we have Italy bidding 1, the US bidding 1, Commonwealth bidding 1, Japan bidding 1, and Germany bidding 1. Let's go see how this is going to play out on the initiative petition track. Okay, Italy's bidding 1. They're getting 2 for their 4th place position and 3 bonus bid points from last turn for their political effectiveness. So that's a total of 6. That's going to put them in at 1st. We have the U.S. bidding 1. They're going to get 4 from their 1st place position from last turn. That's going to put them in at 2nd. We have the Commonwealth bidding 1. They're going to get a +3 for the 2nd place position. That's a total of 4. We have Japan also bidding 1. They're going to get +3 for their 3rd place position. And in addition to that, they're going to get 4 bonus bid points from their political effectiveness from last turn. That's a total of 8. However, they're going for 2 political options, so that's going to be divided by 2. That equals 4. So that's a tie between the Commonwealth and Japan, and the Commonwealth's political effectiveness is 7. Japan's is 4, so that's going to break the tie. The Commonwealth will come in 3rd. Japan will come in 4th. Germany is bidding 1. They're going to get 2 for their 5th place position. They're going to stay right where they are. So the last card is on the Italians, and the last card is on the Germans. Now the non-bidding major powers are the Soviets at 6 at +1, the Chinese at 7th at +1. Well, the Soviets are definitely going to break that tie because they're up here at a 6. China's down there at a 1. They will be 6, and the Chinese will be 7, and the Free French will slide into last position. That's a place that they've been often, them and the Chinese. So, first up is Italy. Let's go take a look and see what they want to do. So, Italy is going to demand Vichy territory. She's going to demand Algeria. This is a die roll, so it's going to cost 3 money if it's successful. And let's see, we got -half for each sea area and territory being demanded. And the Vichy home country, so that's 2, so that's a -1. -1 for each initiative position. Italy is lower than the controlling major power. The major power is Germany, and there is 4, so that's a -5. +1, no. Plus, they're not a different ideology, not the Vichy major power's original owner, and we are not at war with a controlling major power. So it's going to come down to a -5. Now, basically, you have to roll a 1. So let's roll a die, see what happens. And there's the die roll up there in China. It came in as a 3. So Italy will secure Algeria. This is going to be 3 money. There's going to be no U.S. entry because, well, the U.S. is in the war. but I'm going to look and see if any miners are going to be affected by this. I have the Vichy Major Powers war chart, and I'll be right back with Italy activating a miner. Okay, Italy gets to activate a miner, and I think we're going to pick Spain. I'm going to put these back in Portugal where they belong. So we're going to activate Spain. We're going to grab the markers, head on over to the status display. You can see Spain is down there by the Free French marker. I'll put the markers out. We got an Italian 1, we got a Commonwealth -2, we have a Chinese 1 and a Japanese -2. So I don't really think this is going to matter too much. We'll get rid of the ones, they're not going to do anything. Let's see, Japanese -2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So the Japanese will indeed affect it. And so we'll activate the Commonwealth first. That's going to move the marker over here. And then we'll activate the Japanese. That's going to push the marker here. And we're happy with that. That looks good for us. It drives it away from the democracies where we definitely don't want it. And looks good. Okay, so we do not roll to end the political phase because there is a +2 to the political phase now. I can't roll a 1 when there's a +2 to the die. So we will move down to the U.S. and see what they're going to do. Okay, well, I already know what they're going to do. The U.S. is going to play their OF, agree to a proposal, and that proposal is they're going to take over Greenland and Iceland. So they're officially taking over Greenland and Iceland. They become aligned U.S. territories right now, and the U.S. can use those for whatever they need to do. That basically takes care of that. Again, we don't roll a die to see if we end the political phase, and we will move down to the Commonwealth, and let's go see what they're going to do. The Commonwealth is going to play minor joins in, and they're going to bring Portugal into the war. They already have an alliance with Portugal. They start with an alliance with Portugal at the beginning of the game. And the marker is currently stacked with the Commonwealth, so yes, the minor will be entering the war on the Commonwealth side. The cost of this is going to be 5 money. I think the U.S. is going to pay for that, and I got to put out the minor country influences, and then I will come right back and activate a minor. Well, there really isn't a big choice of miners to activate here, so I think what the Commonwealth is going to do is they're just going to activate Venezuela. So this ought to be pretty cool. Let's get the markers out here. We got a -2 for the Commonwealth. We got -1 there. Oh, well, we got a whole bunch of everything here. That's actually a 3 Italian, not a 4. A -6 US, -1 German, a -16 for the Japanese. So it should be pretty fun. So let's get rid of the -1s. They're not going to do anything. So we can get rid of that guy and that guy. Let's do a -2 for the Commonwealth. We'll start with that one first. It's just going to move it this way. Whoops. Alright, I should actually take this off. He goes in London. He's stacked with the Iraqi one that's there. So now the Commonwealth has 2 miners that have joined the war on her side. Alright, so we got a +3 Italian and a -8 Japanese. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So the Japanese one will affect it a little bit. Yeah, it's gonna drive it over this way here. And the rest of the Japanese are not going to affect it. Now we got -6 for the U.S. Well, the U.S. marker is Venezuela ended down there at the other M. So the U.S. is definitely more than 11 away, so that's not going to do anything. Now we got a +3 for the Italians, so that's going to move the marker towards the Italians. 1 hex right there, and there Venezuela sits. And that cleans up a gigantic stack of markers. Okay. The last thing for the Commonwealth to do is roll to see if they end the political phase. There's been 2 previous political options played, so that's a -2, and there's a +2 to the die for all 8 major powers at war. So the political phase will end on a 1, and a 4 is not a 1. So we will move down to Japan, and pretty much already know what they're going to do, so let's go. I'll get the book out, and then we'll take a look at what they're doing. First, excuse me. The first thing Japan's going to do is they're going to pay for the declaration of war in the U.S. It's already been paid for monetarily, and the markers have all been put out. I just have to pay for it with using the political option, which they are doing. No minor is activated, so we just roll to see if the political phase ends. A 9 does not end the political phase. So then Japan will go to this political option. Minor joins in. That's paying for that one as well. And again, the cost was already taken care of last turn, and the political markers were all put out last turn. So all Japan has to do is activate a minor. And I think the minor that she's going to activate is going to be Mexico. So we're going to activate Mexico. I will grab the markers. By the way, Mexico is hostile to the U.S. We have a -5 U.S. We have a 1 Chinese. We have a 1 Italian. And we have a 4 Japanese. Well, we get rid of the 1s. They're not going to do anything. -4 U.S. -5 U.S. So here's U.S. There's no treaty between Mexico or the U.S. Anyways, they're not within their ideology, so it doesn't matter. So it's going to move it 2 hexes. Right there. And then we have a 4 Japanese. It's going to move it 2 more hexes. So we're down here now. So Mexico has gone from here to here in just 1 turn. And the Japanese are kind of liking that a lot. A lot. Okay. Last thing for Japan to do is roll a die and see if they end the political phase. So there has been 4 previous political options played. So that's a +4, -2. -4 +2, so that's 3, that's a 5. So the political phase will continue, and Germany will get a chance to do a political option. Let's go take a look and see what they want to do. Germany is going to play their 0D, build a factory of synth, and what they're going to do is they're going to build a synthetic oil plant. This one right here. It is going to cost them 7 money, and it will go on a production chart for 6 turns, where then Germany will get the chance to deploy it to the map, and it will begin producing oil. So there's no minor effects or any of that. Germany does not activate a minor, so that's going to be the end of the political phase. And I will come right back with rolling for initiative, and then rolling for weather, and then we will take a look at reinforcements. Alright, let's roll the initiative. Let's see, we have red is the communists, blue is the Democrats, and white are the fascists. So the modifiers for this turn are the Democrats are now at 0. The communists are at +1, and the fascists are at +2. Let's see what we get. Okay, so we got Democrats at 7, which is a standard 7. The fascists are at 7, and the communists are at a 5 with the modifiers. So the Democrats actually win because the Democrats were last in the initiative order last turn, and the fascists were ahead of them. So the tie is broken by whoever was last the previous turn. So the Democrats do win. I think they probably want to go first because they have a lot of stuff. They definitely want to get their navies out. Yeah, I think they want to go first. There's some problems in Africa, but I think it's going to have to wait for now. I don't think I can do a land. I think I got to do a naval because we need to get the navies out. We can't have the Kriegsmarine and the Mariana Regatina, or the Italian Navy, getting out in the Atlantic and causing all kinds of problems. So the Democrats are going to go first. Now it's up to the Germans, the fascists. Well, I'm looking at the weather chart, November, December. There's like a 30% chance of good weather in the North Temperate. And then after that, it just gets really bad. And there's a 20% chance of good weather in the Arctic. So as far as the Germans go, I think we'll let the communists go before us. We really don't want to lose that +2. That +2 comes in handy. It's what won the initiative for us when it's important. So I think we'll let the communists go second. And the fascists will go last. So the fascists are last. The Democrats are first because they won. And the communists are third. Now, the all-important, almighty, most awesomest weather roll. Put the weather chart over here. Let's see what we get for weather. Actually running out of places on this board to put stuff down to roll for and to show you. The board is getting that many counters on it now. Alright, weather. There's no plus from the previous turn. And the 6 is bad. 6 is pretty bad weather. Let's see. Snow in the Arctic, storm in North Temperate, rain in the Mediterranean, fair North Monsoon, rain South Monsoon, and fair South Temperate. Okay, I will get that out, put those weather markers out, and I'll come back and show you what we're getting for reinforcements for next turn, for this turn, and then we'll get started. Okay, here's what we got coming in for reinforcements this turn, and it's a pile. The Soviets have a factory coming online, a couple headquarters, bunch of infantry, motorized army, mechanized army, some Katyushka rockets. Pretty good pile, a couple of fighter, one fighter anyways. The Americans have some a really good CAG coming in, a bunch of ships, pilots, some ASW stuff, another Marine Corps, and the Chinese have a 2-fort hex side. The Germans have a gigantic pile of stuff coming in, including some offensive points. Even the Italians got in on the action. A battleship coming in. A pretty good CAG. I don't think their carriers can take them right now. I'll have to check that, but I don't think they can actually take that CAG. The Japanese, the Musashi coming in. The Hiyu carrier. A couple of good CAGs. They also have a factory coming online. I think I already showed you the Commonwealth and everything. Okay, so I'm going to get these reinforcements on the board. And then we're going to start with the Democrat pulse. And the first impulse for the Democrats. And go from there. Okay, we're on to the Democracy's first impulse after I finish placing all the reinforcements. And I think the Commonwealth and the United States are both going to take naval. The Chinese are going to do a land. I don't really think they have much to do. The Free French are going to do a land as well. Again, I don't think they have a whole lot to do, but that's what they're going to do. And, yeah. You gotta remember it's rain down in the Med, so... yeah, alright. Anyways, I'll come back with a summary of what happened. If anything, if we're going to have any battles or anything, I don't really see it happening at this point. But I'll come back with that. Okay, we have one potential for the U.S. over here. They sent some cruisers down here, including the Portland, Minneapolis, a whole bunch of them. I'm going to try to get this Japanese convoy point. See if we find him. If we find him, he's probably sunk. We didn't find him. Nope, we didn't find him. Oh well, that's the way it goes. Other than that, we have some more U.S. troops moving towards Australia. Got some U.S. ships. These are all turned upside down. Some more U.S. ships staging down to the South Pacific. I think the U.S. is possibly getting ready for something in that area. The Commonwealth, well, the Commonwealth, they put their ships out. They deployed the fleet to the Bay of Biscay, and remember it's storm, so air power will be non-existent if the Italians and the Germans decide to come out and play. Also, we got all kinds of escorts going on in the Faroes Gap now. Plus, the Portuguese fleet came out to play. Also, we really beefed up that area. That's that big pile right there. That's all into one box. Just get spread out, that's all. So it doesn't be a gigantic stack and fall over. We also had a U.S. transport come down here and embark this unit. So, we got stuff is moving. Stuff is definitely moving. We still have a problem down here in South America. Gonna have to do something about this eventually. But as of right now, it's a low priority area. Got to the Americans and the Commonwealth have decided they got to get a hold of the fleet situation over here in the Atlantic and do something about the German and Italian fleets and basically annihilate them. So for right now, we're just going to try to hold Japan at bay and call it good. Alright, so that's the end of the Democrats' first impulse. We will move on to the communists. Okay, the Soviets are on a tear. They're taking a land action. First up, they have a ground strike right here. There are no Germans fighters within range. So it's a snow, so it's going to be half the factors. But we got 4, which will be a 2. So the green will be the Finn, and the red will be the German. And the German unit is flipped. Now, we can add, that's going to give him a +1. He's got more armor, so it's going to be a +2. He's got HQ benefits, that could be a +3. 3 to 1 +3. We can make it a 2 to 1 by adding some Stukas. 3 to 1 +3. It's going to be the Blitzkrieg table. Yeah, we're going to add some Stukas. We're going to add some Stukas in. It's going to become a 2 to 1. We have this Stuka unit in range. 1, 2, 3. He's going to add 2 to the 12, which becomes 14. 39 to 14 is 2 to 1. I don't have any Soviet ground support that's going to make any kind of difference. So this guy flies home. He did his. We're going to add HQ effects, HQ benefits. That'll give us a 2 to 1 +3 on the Blitzkrieg table. On the Blitzkrieg table. Oh, disaster for the Soviets. That becomes a 4. That's a 1, 1. And that's going to flip all the Soviet units. That's a 1, 1. That's not a good thing for the Soviets at this point. Especially with these really strong units. I gotta lose a unit. Probably gonna have to lose this guy. Yep. Much as I don't want to. And the Germans have to lose a unit. Let's see. The Stuka goes home. And put him here. I think we'll lose the infantry unit. And that's the end of that. And that's not a cadre. He's not anywhere near an HQ. And we'll go move up the line. We have a 5-to-1 here. That is ground support, not a ground strike. Now the Germans could they could add in a Stuka. However, the Soviets have not only 1, 2, 3 fighters to butcher my Stuka. So the Germans don't want to get their Stuka butchered, so they're just going to let it go. That's going to be a 5-to-1. There's no HQ effects. I can add 1. That's going to make it a -1 for the Germans. That would be a 5-to-1, -1. There's no armor involved. 5-to-1, -1. And this is on the assault table. On 9. 5-to-1, -1, 9. It doesn't matter. Star 2S. An awesome result, I would say. He's going to fly back to Moscow. These two guys are toast. Also, they are not cadres because they're minor allies. And I gotta check guard units, and I think that's gonna wrap it up for the Soviet turn. Should I occupy the hex? Oh yeah, let's occupy the hex. We'll go in here. We'll push the Germans back up here. That's always a good thing. I gotta check the guard promotions and see if we're gonna get any, and that's gonna wrap it up for the Soviet turn, and we'll move on to the fascists. Okay, first up, Germany took a land impulse. They paid 1 offensive point to get a single naval move. They moved all their subs out to the North Atlantic. The Commonwealth and Americans don't quite have any sub-hunting aircraft or anything yet, so they couldn't stop them from doing that. So we're going to see if the German subs find anything. Roll some dice. An 8 and a 3, and that's a big 0. Alright, now over here in Russia, we have a couple of attacks. Now this is Storm in the North Temperate. So attacks will be at -2 odds level. So we have a 8-to-1 here, which gets reduced to 6-to-1, which is a 5-to-1 on the assault table. 5-to-1 on the assault table. That's an 8. That is Star 2S. So Rostov finally falls. The big giant pain that's been in the side of the Germans down here in the Caucasus for quite some time has finally been taken. And that's our militia unit that's not coming back. I'll have to find it. Alright, so they'll occupy. I think that's going to flip. Yeah, I'll occupy with this mountain unit. That's good enough. I don't think that flips him. Swamp is 2 for leg, I believe. Oh no, it's 5. That flips that unit. That unit will be flipped. Should have waited for snow. It would have become forced. Up here in the snow, we have a 5-to-1 attack. May recheck. 9, 18, 29, 38, 40. 40-5 is 8-to-1, which is going to get reduced 2 levels in the snow. And we could add in some ground support for the Soviets. Now, don't know if we're going to do that. Yes, we will. We'll add ground support, we'll escort them with those fighters, and we're going to have us a fighter battle. Alright, well, so we get the fighter stream out and the bomber stream out for each side. And the German fighter is quite a bit superior to the Soviet one. I grab my extra dice. The Soviets are the non-side, so they will roll first. This is going to be on the +3, -3 column. So -3, and they roll a 13. That's not really good. Attacker clears through the bomber, so the German bomber does get through. Now the Germans roll. They get a 17 on the +2, +3 column. 17 is DX. Defender destroys own front fighter, front bomber, and the pilot is killed. So the Soviets will destroy their fighter because it's kind of a crappy fighter. Yeah. And the bomber is going to abort. And he'll fly out to Penza. And land there. So now we have a 5-1 +1. Because we do indeed have armor. We could add Soviet HQ benefits, but I don't think I'm going to. Simply because it's going to... He's going to hit here at the max. I don't want it flipped over. I basically don't want it flipped over. So 5-1 +1. 6 becomes a 7. On the Blitzkrieg table, 7 is star 1B. So we do get the Soviet unit. And we do get a breakthrough. I don't really know if we want to take it, because fighter gotta go home. I don't really know if we want to take it, simply because, you know, we're overextending ourselves. It's winter. Winter is coming, and I don't really want to take that extra hex. Puts 9 points here. He's just going to pile on it and crushed. Yeah, not a good idea. Alright, so that's going to wrap it up for the Germans. The Italians are not doing anything. I got to check the Japanese. I'll be back with them in a second. Okay, Japan took a naval. They moved a whole bunch of stuff around. No, I took a combined. I'm sorry. Took a combined. They moved a couple of units with their transports. And they got an attack right here. That's going to be a 3-1 +1. If I can find my dice. There we go. 3-1 +1, and that's going to be on the assault table. Actually, MacArthur, he'll flip over too, so it's going to be 3-1 even. Oh, Japan finally comes through with a half decent result. It's actually a pretty good result. 3-1 with a 10. That's going to be cross 2S. Even so, half the Japanese units are going to be flipped over. The American units are eliminated. He'll fly back to wherever he came from. These guys are gone. It's MacArthur, by the way. That's the Philippines. Actually, we'll put those over there. And I got to flip over another Japanese unit. I think I'm going to occupy Manila with the 5-4. And the Yamamoto headquarters, he flipped over because he used HQ benefits. And I think that's going to do it for the fascist impulse. We will move on to the Democrats and roll for weather. Grab my weather chart. Get someplace I can roll a die. We got a +1 to this weather roll. Let's see what the Democrats come up with weather. I'm sure the Soviets want like a 10. They wanted it, and that's exactly what they got. They got themselves a 10, which becomes an 11. So we're going to have blizzard, blizzard, snow, rain, storm, rain. So yeah, other than the Soviets, not much is going to happen at all. So I'll record that down. I'll come back with a Democrats impulse, and we'll go from there. Okay, we're going to try again right here. No. Sorry. Nobody found anybody. I think that's about it for the Democrats. I think we'll move on to the Communists. The Communists are loving blizzards. They love the blizzard, so I gotta take a look, see what they're gonna do, and we'll go from there. Okay, the Soviets have finished up. There aren't actually any attacks this turn. Instead, the Soviets opted to move a whole bunch of units around. Get things in position for maybe a next set of impulses or the set of impulses after that. They have units out of position. So it's in this disaster they had down in here, that kind of really put a damper on things a little bit. So we will move to the fascists and see what they're going to do. I think the Germans are probably going to take another land impulse. And I'm not sure what the Italians are probably going to take. They're going to take a land impulse. And the Japanese, I don't know what they're going to do. I got to look at it. Probably not a whole lot of anything, because they just have bad weather everywhere. All right, the Germans will try it in the Atlantic again. Grab my dice. See what we get. So I think the search rolls have a plus something. Yeah, I have to check that. I think that's a +1 for blizzard or something like that. Anyway, I just roll the dice and look at it after. Whoa, well, the Germans rolled a 1. There's more than 10 convoy points there, so that's going to be a 0. And even with a +2, that's going to include all the German U-boats. So I got to figure this out. Okay, first off, they have 1 ASW from the DEs that will roll against the subs. So there are 8 subs. 1 ASW, 8 subs. Okay, that's 1 aborted. Alright, so we're going to try to abort the Milchow. That is an 8. And he is aborted. So the Milchow will be aborted back to Germany, or Brest rather. And that's going to subtract 3 sub points. Now we have 15 ASW, but they have 10 surprise points. The Germans have 10 surprise points against 7 ships. 10 surprise points. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to use all 10 to move it down to the 2 column for ASW. That's 1 damaged sub. So they're going to pick this one to damage. That's a 9. And he is indeed damaged. He is damaged. I'll put him over here and sideways like that. Yeah. Alright, the rest of these guys will be like this. Alright. Okay, now we have 16 sub points against 12 ships. Sub points against 12 ships. It's 2 sunks. We'll take that. Well, we'll sink 3 convoy points. And I think the Commonwealth will pick. Let's see. We'll go with the Portuguese destroyer flotilla. All right. We have to roll a 9 for him to not get sunk, and a 1. Sorry, he is gone. He is gone. And that is the end of that. We can roll to see if anybody finds anybody again for second round. Nope, not that time. The Germans rolled a 9, and that's the end of that action. The damaged sub will abort. He will go, sorry about the wrist. He will go back. And there he is. And now the fascists will roll to see if they end the turn. And that's a 2, by the way. The Japanese are doing nothing. The Italians look to do something, but they really can't. They can't even catch up to the retreating British in Palestine. Alright, so let's roll to see if the turn ends. And a 1 ends the turn. The turn is over. That's it for the turn. Okay. That was a fast turn. That was a fast turn. Alright, I gotta return ships to port. And I'll come back and do partisans in production. Alright, so I got everything returned to base, and now let's roll for partisans. This turn was actually a disaster for the fascists because it ended so fast. Alright, partisans. That is a 5. Sweden, Italy, Bulgaria, Poland. Let's see what's in Poland. We got a 1, a 2, 3, 4 right now. 4. We got 4 units in there. And the partisan rating is a 6. So we roll a die to see if there's going to be a partisan. A 10. I rolled a 10. That equals no partisan. Oh yeah, we got Yugoslavia. We have partisan rating of 9. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that's a 3. 6 is not a 3, so no partisan. Iran, Persia rather. Oh, ooh. That is now a 2, which becomes a 1. The Soviets luck out. Philippines are just conquered. Nope, nothing gonna repair there. USA and USSR. The USSR is a 20. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27. I got 27, 28, 29, 30. Got 30 units behind the lines just because it just happened the way it is. And the rating is a 20, so there will be no partisan in Russia. Alright, and that's the end of the partisan. I'm going to do production. I will come right back in a few minutes and show you what each major power built. Okay, let's go over production. Germany produced 50, started with 42, and spent 41. Japan produced 29, started with 30, and spent 30. Italy produced 15, started with 12, and spent 12. Forgot something. Alright, so where was it? Oh, Italy, okay. Soviets. The Soviets produced 39, started with 39, and spent 39. The Commonwealth produced 26. They're doing better. Started with 22 and spent 26. The U.S. produced 60. Started with 54 and spent 61. China produced 5, started with 5 and spent 6. The Free French produced 1, started with -6, spent none. And the Vichy French produced 1, started with 7 and spent 2. And I will get these guys on a circle. And I will get this turn uploaded shortly. And thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing, sharing. I appreciate all that stuff. And see you next time.